I'm excited about today's episode of The Layover. I'm your host, Craig, the Travel Junkie, and today we're speaking to Debora Clark Fairfax from TravelWithAPurpose.inc. One of the things she does with her nonprofit is take missionary trips all around the globe, donating gently used items and other necessities to children wherever she goes. In addition to having a kind and giving heart, Debora also does her fair share of traveling solo. She's going to come on and talk to us about tips for female solo travelers and share some of her experiences. Let's welcome Deb Fax to The Layover. Debora Clark Fairfax, how goes?
Hey, Craig, how you?
I'm doing well. How you doing this evening?
I am okay.
Yeah. Oh, I'm glad you are okay. It's been a minute since I've seen you or talked to you.
It's been a minute. I'm on lockup, injured my ankle, but I'm okay.
Well, I'm glad you're okay. I'm glad your ankle is getting better, but you're right. We're all on lockup right now, so I totally get it. Although there are some people that are getting out, here and there.
I'm not quite ready to do that.
Yeah.
I need the coast to be a little bit more clearer. I need these numbers to be better.
No, I totally
I'm not
understand.
trying to spend 3 hours at the airport when I go someplace.
Oh, well, you definitely can now. Not with a broken ankle or healing from a broken ankle. So I get it.
Right.
And you just got in from somewhere, right? Like, didn't you just take a trip or just come back from like Spain or something like that?
I did. I went to LA to visit my son, went to a Laker game, which was very, very cool.
Okay.
And did some LA touristy things, and then went on a jazz cruise, the Blue Note Jazz Cruise.
Nice.
And 3 weeks in Miami. So I was down there during all of that Super Bowl stuff and got to holler at Drew for a minute. And then came back and went to Barcelona. And when I came back, the world kind of exploded. So I'm glad that I did get at least to Barcelona.
Yeah. Barcelona's my DNA city. That's like a whole nother show. I could talk Barcelona like for 10 hours because,
I like Barcelona.
Right. That's where I think I'm from. Although I know I was born and raised in Chicago, but literally that's my DNA city. I'm planning to move there. I've been there about 6 or 7 times and all of that good stuff. But we're going to get into that later. Before we get into the show, though, Debora, it's customary that, at the top of the show, I allow people to drop like their information on how people can reach them. So like if you have social media platforms, whether it be Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, whatever it may be, this is your opportunity to go ahead and put that out there.
Okay. Well, my Facebook is Deb, DEB, Fax, FAX in X-ray @Gmail. That's my email and Facebook. Instagram is Fairfax _ Debora, Debora.
Okay. And I'm going to give you an opportunity at the end of the show as well, too. All right?
Okay.
All right. So I know we were talking and you were talking about how, your son was out there in LA. You got a chance to go out there to the Lakers game. You did Barcelona before the world kind of closed and all of that. But let's kind of get into like you a little bit. So Debora, if you don't mind, where are you originally from? And like, when did you develop this love for travel? Because obviously you have it.
I am a New Yorker. I was born in Limestone, Maine.
New York.
I'm a military child.
Okay.
And I'm the third of 5. And my folks got tired of living out of bags and boxes every time my dad got shipped someplace else. So they bought a home in Long Island. Brentwood, Long Island, to be exact.
Okay.
And I'm just a New Yorker.
I got you. Uptown, right?
In Harlem. Went to undergrad in Long Island. Came out with a degree and a husband. And we live in the city. We live in Harlem. And Harlem is home.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
My love of travel came from just knowing that there was a big old world out there and looking at magazines when I was a child, looking at picture books and seeing stuff way before the internet. And I just knew it was something I wanted to do.
Right. Okay. That's pretty dope. And, I know, like, I'm not from New York, but I know a lot of people from New York and trust me, I know like Harlem, it's not like Harlem, New York. Everybody always says Harlem, USA, because it's like you guys are your own little country,
Yeah, we are. Gentrification is running through here. like crazy, but we still got a little bit of flavor left.
Yeah. I love Harlem. Every time I come up, I always make sure I go over to the Red Rooster. That's like
Yep.
one of my favorite spots to eat,
I am
and
5 minutes away from the Red Rooster,
okay.
and Marcus Samuelson is a really, really, really nice guy. Kind of
Yeah,
quirky, but he's a
yeah.
nice guy.
He's a very nice guy, very nice guy.
Uh-huh.
And what's the other place right across the street? I think it's called the Corner Social. They're pretty
Corner
nice as well.
Social is there. It's more
Yeah,
of a bar than it is a restaurant. Sylvia's is cool. And then
yeah.
we have what I call 8th Avenue. New Yorkers call 8th Avenue. Them other folks call Frederick Douglass Boulevard. We have like
Get a man his
a
due. Frederick Douglass
okay,
Boulevard. All right.
a good well, it was 8th Avenue before they renamed it. A good 20, 30 restaurants from 110th Street to 126th. So you
Okay.
have lots of choices.
Okay. I can dig it. I can dig it. All right. Well, I appreciate you telling us a little bit about Harlem. And so I know you developed your love for travel looking at picture books, and I know you've been doing it early on and all that stuff like that. And then one of the other things that I noticed too about you, Deboras, you do a lot of solo travel as well. Now, don't get me wrong. I see you out there with Mister. I know you guys are doing your thing, but I also know you get it in by yourself, which is great. And that's why I wanted to bring you on to talk to you, about a woman that travels solo. So as a woman that travels solo, where are some places that you come to realize are very safe for women traveling alone?
Europe.
Okay.
I've been to Venice, Rome. Let me see, Venice, Rome, and London. I
Okay.
really like London. Like Spain is your second home. I'd say London and Ghana is my second home.
Okay. Okay. Well,
Yeah,
let's
yeah.
not discount South America because remember, you told me about Rio too.
Oh my gosh. I have been to Rio. My dad passed away in July of
Okay.
last
Sorry to
year,
hear.
and I just did some real let me get out and just go stretch my nerves type of travel. So I got a
Yeah.
chance to go to Rio solo, which was a very, very nice trip. I came home and went to Kenya and jumped on a plane and went to Ethiopia for a few days. So that was a very good solo trip also.
Yeah, and I know what you mean because my pops, he passed away about 11 or 12 years ago. And right after that, I had to get away, for a while and just kind of do some soul searching, traveling as well
Mm-hmm.
too. And
Mm-hmm.
over to France and stayed over there for a good week. And I wasn't ready to come home, so I left France and then flew over to Spain. And I was in Barcelona, and that's actually where I just developed my love for Barcelona. That first time I was there about 12 years ago, and since then I've been
Mm-hmm.
like 6 times. I'm even looking at apartments over there now. So I totally get what you're saying.
Public transportation is real easy to navigate in Spain.
Oh, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
exactly. Now, they
Mm-hmm.
got rid of Uber. They just did that last year because I took a group over there and we did Valentine. So we called it the Barcelona Valentine. And it was like literally when we landed 2 weeks prior to us landing, they got rid of Uber, which is fine though, because like you said, the public transportation system is like so robust and so good and easy,
Very
so
easy.
very
Very
easy.
easy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Easy.
Like I try and find my way from the airport to my hotel. Sometimes that's tricky.
Yeah.
You can get off at the right stop, but if you don't know left, right, northeast, southeast, you get a little turned around.
Yeah. But I always tell people if you can ride the subway in New York or Chicago, you can ride it anywhere in the world.
Yes. Yes, I do believe that.
Yep. And by you being a New Yorker, and I'm sure you've hit the subway and trains and all of that throughout the years. So, I mean, it's
Mm-hmm.
ingrained in you. So going
Mm-hmm.
to France or going to Spain, jumping on the train, it's par for the course for you.
I went to the 2008 Olympics, 2 events.
Okay.
I would not have gone if it was just one with someone, but I wound up doing solo because the person just got extremely, completely silly. So, I just went off by myself. It was very, very, very nice always to have someone to come back to the hotel room with. It was pleasant.
Got you. Okay, cool.
And I navigated the subway in Barcelona.
That's pretty dope. That's pretty dope.
Mm-hmm.
So Deborah, are there any countries out there in the world that, because I know you travel solo, so are there any countries in the world that kind of make you pause when you think about traveling solo? Like you say, okay, I want to go XYZ, but nah, maybe I shouldn't go there by myself.
I gotta say, Nigeria is dangerous for women to travel solo. unless someone is meeting you and going to take you around, and you just have to be careful in parts of South Africa as well.
Gotcha. Okay. Anywhere else outside of Africa?
Not that I've encountered, no.
Okay, cool. And it's funny you say that because,
I mean, you have to be careful in Brazil. You have to be careful as a single female. You have to be careful, even if you mesh with the brown people.
right.
Or if you blend in with people that look like you, you still have to be careful.
Oh, indeed.
I don't go out at night. One of the pitfalls of me traveling solo, if I don't have anyone to go out with, I don't go out at night.
No, that's a great tip right there. And that's why I brought up Rio, because, over the years, everyone always hears how Rio is so bad. Oh, it's so dangerous. Oh, they'll take the shoes off your feet, stuff like that, but
I've never encountered that.
Right. And I've never encountered that
Exactly.
For the many times I've been to Rio, I've never had an issue. Don't get me wrong. Just because I haven't had an issue doesn't mean trouble isn't lurking around the corner, but I get it. But I just kind of want to
There is trouble. Trouble lurks everywhere.
Oh, indeed.
But I've not had those issues in Rio. I have a favorite restaurant I go to. I have a friend that has an apartment that I can use. And it's close to the beach, and it's just,
right.
You make your connections.
Yeah. Now, are we talking Copacabana, or we're talking about Leblon or Ipanema? Which beach are we talking about?
Copacabana.
Okay, yeah.
And I can walk down to Ipanema.
Gotcha. Yeah. And for those that don't know, like 3 of the main beaches in Rio are Leblon, Ipanema, and Copacabana, and then they're right in a row. So like you said, you can be on Copacabana and you can walk the beach. Then you have to come over to the boardwalk and walk the city a little bit, and then you pass that break in those couple of hotels, and then you're jumping on Ipanema, and then you can walk Ipanema all the way down to Leblon.
Yes, and one of the things I like about Rio is that you can sit and figure out what do you want to do. Sometimes, like when I've been on favela tours, I would go with a group.
Oh, indeed. Now, I wouldn't go there by myself.
No. Because then you're just walking around looking like you don't know where you're going.
Right. Asking for trouble. Yeah. So that brings me to my next question. So since you travel solo, a lot of times, and we talked about Rio, are there some other tips? Because you dropped a couple of tips when you said, hey, if I'm traveling solo, I don't go out at night. If I have friends, I just make sure I connect with them. So do you have some other tips that could be helpful to other women that want to travel solo but don't know where to start?
Bring your snacks. I'm a snack girl. Bring your snacks. Bring your snacks. Know what you want to do.
Oh, that's important.
Okay, you want to go to London. What do you want to do in London? You want to hit the museums. You want to go to Rio. What do you want to do? Make sure you know where the museum is. Hopefully, you will find lots of people that speak English, so you will get directions. But know what you want to do. Don't just get on a plane and go to Africa without an agenda of your own.
Right.
If you want to go to, let's say, South Africa, what do you want to do? Do you want to do the touristy things? I also started, after traveling so much and seeing the need, I now take gently used children's shoes and clothes.
Okay.
My website is travelwithapurpose.com.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Travel with a Purpose Inc.
Travel with a Purpose Inc. Got it.
.com, and you can visit the website. I take gently used children's shoes and clothes. It's been exhilarating. It's been a little crazy. I take school supplies. And this is all out of my pocket. I have not had much sponsor. I did a GoFundMe once, and that's something I do. And, once my little missionary stuff is done, I get to do tours.
Right. Okay. That's pretty dope, Debora. I never knew that about you. Like, I knew you were down for the cause in terms of helping people out, but I never knew you had your website. So if you don't mind, can you drop that again? What's the name of the website again?
Travel with a Purpose
Travelwithapurposeinc.com. Yeah, I'm going to make sure I
Mm-hmm.
spotlight that so, our listeners
Mm-hmm.
can, make sure they go check you out. So, since you've been to so many countries, right, traveling with your mister by yourself, are there any countries that you consider moving to? If so, which ones and why?
Nope, I would not consider leaving New York because New York is home. I have siblings here in New York. I like travel and love to come home.
I love it. I love it. If I had a brownstone in Harlem, USA, I probably would love to stay in NY and come home after travels all the time too.
Yeah. We do. We thanks for reminding me of that. We own a brownstone. We do Airbnb. That would be Richard's Place, Harlem.
Okay.
You Google Richard's Place, Harlem. Look at the calendar. Talk to us. With COVID, we have not had any guests all year.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And it's okay because I don't want international people, bringing germs and bringing things in my house.
Yeah, that totally makes sense, though.
It's a fully loaded 1-bedroom that sleeps 4. We've gotten great reviews.
I know.
And
I checked out some
it's
of
a
your
nice
reviews
place.
online before. So, yep. So, trust me, I know.
Yeah.
Remember, we were talking about it. I think I was up there about a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago. And you and I were talking, and you shot me the link, and I took a look at it, and your reviews were awesome. So, yeah. So, I know all about it.
Now, if you ask me favorite places,
okay.
That travel junkie trip where we went to Malaysia, Bali.
Yeah, man. That hangover tour. Oh, yeah.
That hangover tour. I met some really, really, really nice people and some that I'm still in contact with today.
Mm-hmm.
But that was a good trip.
Debora, we had so much fun on that hangover tour. I mean, and a lot of people don't know what the hangover tour is, and we call it the hangover tour for a couple of reasons. One, because every April around Songkran, we make our way to Southeast Asia. And of course, we end up in Bangkok. And as you know, part of the movie, The Hangover 2, was shot in Bangkok. So that's part of the reason. But the other part of the reason why we call it the Hangover Tour is because we don't get any sleep
at all.
We are
and
up.
With the time change.
Yep.
And with the time change, you're like beat over the head, but you keep going.
That's right. That's the love of travel right there. You get out, you see some stuff and you want to go. And one of the things we specialize on the hangover tour, we have to be true to name, true to form. We're going to keep you up all night, but you're going to have a great time.
That's another thing. When you travel solo, you need to pay attention to your body.
True.
And when your body says, go sit down, you sit down.
Yeah. I've experienced that too. Yep.
When the body says, drink some water, you drink water.
This is true.
I went with a friend of mine. I said, hey, come on, let's go to India. She said, okay, put it together. I booked it and then called her and said, the tour starts in India. We got to get to the hotel. And she said, okay. And we did that. It was a very, very, very interesting group because there were people from all over the world.
Uh-huh.
And we were the only 2 women of color. And at the end, the group leader said, well, is there anybody want to share? Like, yeah. Have you folks ever traveled with Black people before?
Okay.
Here we are. Some of you acted like we were not part of this group. But we had a really, really, really good time. Would I do it again? Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sometimes you just got to overlook that stuff. And like you said, the destination for me is the draw. And sometimes I have to block out all the other foolishness that, may be happening or whatever the case may be.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Destinations for me are the draw. But as a single female traveler, you have to know what you want to do when you get there. Yeah. If you're going on a museum tour, okay, list your museums. If you're going on a food tour, make sure you know what and where you want to eat. What you don't ever want to do, male or female, single, is wander around like you don't know where you're going.
Yep, you're right. I think that's the greatest tip. Yeah.
Well, the greatest tip also, especially everywhere, including these particularly African countries, have your money spread out in all 4 pockets. So when you're out there bartering, you only have what's in that one pocket.
You know, that is a great tip right there. That is awesome. Have your
Being
money spread
being
out.
spread out in all four pockets. You're not taking out wads of money. Being in New York, I have access to currency exchange, foreign currency. So I try and travel with at least a substantial amount of that country's currency so that you're not getting off the plane with US dollars trying to hail a cab,
Mm-hmm.
trying to negotiate credit cards.
Yeah, that makes total
And,
sense.
when I get back to New York, I'm able to turn this currency back in for US dollars.
Yep. Yep. You're absolutely right. But that was an awesome tip. Spread your money out in different pockets.
Spread your money out in
Yeah.
all four
Yeah.
pockets.
But
That way,
mhm.
that way when you're out there bartering and somebody says, well, in Africa, of course, particularly when someone says, well, this cost
20 Rand.
$30.
Right.
Well, 30 US dollars.
Mm-hmm.
You want to beat them down. I am the queen of barter, and I will,
That's that
look
Harlem
at
USA
something.
coming out right
That's
there,
the
right?
Harlem coming out of me, and they get whatever. My husband and I were in Cuba, couldn't get in this restaurant because you needed reservations, We were up in the roof bar. I like roof bars, as you know.
Mm-hmm.
And there was some girls, young ladies that didn't look like us. There was a guy all over her. Where you from? Oh, you so cute. Oh, you so this. I whispered to the other girl, get your friend. Get your friend.
Mm-hmm.
That guy doesn't look too cool. Get your friend.
Right. Yep. I've seen stuff like that happen before on some of my travels too, so I know exactly what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Well, look, Debora, check it out. I got one last question for you, and I'm gonna let you get out of here, right? So, in your lifetime, because I know you've been traveling, I'm sure over 30 years now. So
Over 30. Yeah, about 35. Mm-hmm.
So, what's the best piece of travel advice you've ever received that you want to pass on to others?
Be safe.
Be safe.
Watch your surroundings.
Mm-hmm.
Be careful of what you eat.
Oh,
like if you
absolutely.
If you have a sensitive stomach, don't mess with no gravy.
Yep.
I went to Egypt and some people got very, very, very sick because they wanted to mess with the liquid in the gravy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and be careful what you drink too.
Be careful what you drink. In Ghana, you don't mess with ice.
Gotcha.
At all. You don't drink the water. You bring bottled water. You brush your teeth with bottled water. Follow whatever the custom, whatever the rule is.
Yep. Or whatever the health guidelines are.
Whatever the health guideline is. If they tell you that shorts are not allowed, don't look like a country hit girl from anywhere in shorts or a mini skirt if that's not what people wear.
That is actually some great advice, Debora. I really appreciate that.
Pay attention to customs. Pay attention to what you eat, what you drink. Don't go out at night.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Especially if by yourself, and it's a foreign country that it's your first time there. You don't have any friends there. Don't go out at night. You got plenty of time to do everything you need to during the day.
If there's someone at the hotel that will escort you to hear live music, go with that person.
Yep.
But to go by yourself, that's too risky.
Yeah, I totally understand. Well, look, Debora, it's been an absolute pleasure speaking to you. And, as I said up front, I want to give you an opportunity here to go ahead and talk about, your social media platforms again. And don't forget to talk about your website and your Airbnb as well, too.
Well, our short-term stay is Richard's Place, Harlem.
Okay.
And you can Google that. My Instagram is Fairfax_Debora, Debora. I guess I would call it charity would be Travel with a Purpose Inc.
Okay.
.com. And my email address is debfax@gmail.com. And that's the same as my Facebook.
Awesome. Well, Debora.
Great to talk to you, my friend.
Yeah, it's always great to talk to you. Yeah, you know what? You're right.
Catch another trip with you.
Yeah.
But it has to be someplace that I haven't been. And at this point, I'm in the country almost for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah, and I get you. So same here. I may get out and do some domestic stuff because I like to hike and I want to get out. But
Yeah, I
out of the
missed your
country
4th of
stuff.
July hike.
Yeah, out of the country stuff, I'll be right here. But you know what? We'll see
Yeah, I'll
each
be
other
here.
again. You're absolutely right. We're
Yeah,
definitely going
yeah.
to get out
Let me know
and
when
see
you
this
come to
globe
New
together.
York.
Yep, I will definitely let
And
you
I'll
know,
let you
Debora.
know if I come into Chicago.
Okay, anytime. I'll always be
Okay.
here. You always got space over here for you.
Okay. Be well, my friend.
All right, you as well, Debora.
Okay. Bye-bye.
All right, thank you. Bye-bye. Thank you for listening, and thanks to Debora for coming on and sharing her experiences. She does a ton of work through her website and foundation, travelingwithapurpose.inc, and I just love her travel style. We definitely salute Fairfax for making an impact on a global level. Not to mention, the tips she shared can be used by anyone that loves to travel. And her love for Harlem USA was definitely on display. There's no place like home. If you like what you've heard, please check out more episodes at my website, www.thetraveljunkie.com. And of course, there you'll have more access to content, blogs, video clips, and you can even jump on some of the planned group trips that I have for the future. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Layover Podcast so you never miss an episode. This podcast was produced by me, the Travel Junkie, and you know my mission here, to connect travelers from all over the globe, whether you're seasoned, whether you're a solo traveler, or you're a novice looking for insight and information. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you next time on The Layover.